Hi, I'm Jennifer of Celtic Knot Crochet, and today I'm going to show you how to add beads to the Crystal Crochet Mandala project. It's a free pattern at CelticKnotCrochet.com, and I already had one video that shows you how to crochet the mandala in the center, and now this video I will show you all the jewelry supplies you need and what type of beads I used to put the whole project together, so that you have a beautiful decoration for your home. You will need several eye pins. I like to find mine at Hobby Lobby. They look like this. I use 2-inch eye pins. So they have a loop, a wire loop on one end, and then they're straight like a sewing pin, but they're not sharp. Then you'll need a pair of pliers. You don't have to have jewelry pliers like this, but some kind of pliers that allow you to have some detail work in the tip. They aren't too large. And then you don't have to use these, but I find they save me a lot of time and headache. They're wire cutters, and they're very easy to get right up to where you want to cut the wire. But most jewelry pliers also have a wire cutter right there that you can use. Then you'll need a whole bunch of plastic faceted beads. I found this box in Hobby Lobby by Bead Design Company. These work great for this project. They're clear and come in a variety of sizes. Some very big ones, medium, a little smaller than medium, and then even a very small one. There are 450 pieces, which is more than enough to make one mandala. So I used some of these because they're clear. Then I found by the same company, Bead Design Company, faceted round acrylic bead mix. A wide variety of different colors, pinks, a peach, blues, and greens that go great with this project. You can also buy some more similar beads all by themselves that are clear. They also have these kind that come in a large bag of several hundred that look like this. They're small little bicone beads. And then there are also seed beads could be useful as well, because sometimes with the larger beads the hole in them is so big that they won't stay on the eye pin. So you need some kind of stopper. So those are the supplies you need. Now I'll show you what you're going to make with them. In the directions you will see how many of each piece you need to make, and sky's the limit on what you would like to make. When you're designing something, odd numbers are always the best way to go. So I like to make my bead pieces with either 3 or 5 beads on them, and alternate sizes. So I use one of the tiny bicone beads, then a large crystal faceted bead, and then another tiny one. You could also use one of the colored ones, a clear one, and a colored one. And then I use different colors, but the same pattern. And then this one I use 5 beads, but because 3 of them are very small, it ends up being just about the same length as the other bead parts. So you have a bicone, a small bicone, small bicone. So the difference in shape is interesting too. Now how you make those is you take the eye pin, thread on the smallest bead first, then you can thread on a large bead, and then another bicone small bead, and then you take your pliers, and as close as you can to that last bead, you pinch and hold it nice and tight, and then with your hand bend the wire so it's about at a 90-degree angle like that. Then you hold the pliers again right at that angle and pull the wire over and around the pliers to create another loop. And when you take the pliers out, you see that you have a loop there. You can use the flat part of the pliers to adjust it. And then this is where I come in with my wire cutters and clip like that. And now I can go and adjust the size of the hole, but I like to leave it until after I've connected it to another bead element. Then I take the pliers and close up the hole as best as I can. And that's how you connect all of them. And it's up to you how long you want each strand. I had 5 strands coming down from the bottom 2 points of my mandala. And you can decide, you can use the photo that I included as a guide. You might want to put all blue and clear along one length and then do all green and clear, or mix them up. A lot of mine, I had a color element, then I had a clear element, then I had another color element. And you'll see by the photo all the different options that you can do. And then you just do the same exact thing for your large acrylic beads that go on the bottom. You still take the eye pin, and you can this time create a loop on one side because it's going to be bigger than what the eye pin comes with. I already have one on here, as you can see. So you would just do one, but you make a loop and close it up, and then so you can thread beads on, you cut off that end, and then you can decide. I think for mine I added a color bead on top, and you could add one of the smaller beads, and then you do the same technique. Grab the wire as close to the last bead as you can, push the wire so it's a 90-degree angle, then hold on right at the bend with the pliers, and then push the wire around the pliers to make the loop, and then trim the excess. Now, after you've made all of your bead elements and decided which colors you want to put where, then you can start by putting it all together. Now, I found that the best way to attach the mandala to the outside ring is by not making the bead element first, as I just showed you, but instead to make the bead element as you go. So you'll take the eye pin, open up the top loop, and then decide where you would like it. Remember, the mandala is going to be stretched quite a bit. So the first one doesn't really matter. It's all the others that we want to make sure we line up properly. Now you're going to take the eye pin and put it through one of the single crochets, just like that. And since the loop is open, you pull through, and now you can snag the single crochet right in the loop of the eye pin, and then you come in with your pliers and close the loop. And if you need to, play around with it to make sure it's nice and closed. You don't want it slipping off. So there it is, attached to the single crochet on the side. Now I'm going to use the various beads that I decided to use. I wanted to use clear, so I'm going to take in a group of 3 the small clear bead, medium clear bead, and another small clear bead. I'm going to do the same technique as before. Hold the wire as close to the last bead as possible. Push the wire over so it's about a 90-degree angle. Then hold at the bend with the pliers. Bend the wire over the top to create another loop. Pull the wire, the pliers out. You can use the flat part of the pliers to straighten it out a little bit. Then trim the wire like so. And I'm going to leave that loop open because now that is what I'm going to attach to one of the picots. And it looks like I need to open it up a little bit more so I can get it around the yarn. So loop it through the picot and then bend it so it touches. And there you go. And you're just going to do that all the way around. Now the best way I found is to work in opposites. So since I did this one up here, now I'm going to work on the other side over here, the opposite point. And that'll help me do it evenly all the way around. Then I'll pick one of these, and then once I have that one attached, I'll go to this opposite side. And then I'll pick one on this side and work opposite like that. And that helps you do it evenly so that they're all spaced out and your mandala is nice and tight across the ring. Now I have attached my crocheted mandala to the outer ring with all of these bead elements. Now I originally had 3 beads, but it actually made it too long and it wouldn't stretch the mandala enough across the opening. So I shortened this gap right here so that it stretched better. So you might have to experiment with that too, with the size of your mandala, the size of your ring, and the size of your beads. And if you decide that you want it stretched a lot, you might just do away with the beads altogether or sew them on top and not have them be part of the connection. So this is what it looks like when it's attached. And then I decide where I want to hang it from. So if I pick this one up here, then I go down to this one and these 2 next to it. And that is where I'm going to hang the other bead elements from. So wherever the top is, I go to the opposite point, and then I'm going to attach the bead elements in the same way as I attached around the edge. So I'm going to open up one of the loops on the end of the eye pin and feed it through one of the single crochets, just like that. Use my pliers to bend the loop closed, and now I have one length right there, one bead element. And then I'll do another one opposite this one and another one opposite here, and then I'm going to do 2 more in the center. One there and one there, like that. And then as you go, you just link them together. So if I wanted to use this one next, open the loop just a little bit, loop it through the eye pin that's already there. Close up the loop, and that's how they join together. And like I said, you can make them as long or as short as you wish. When you get to the end, you have your bigger element, and it attaches the same way. Open the loop and put it on the end where you would like to attach it. Close it up. And by having these different bead elements, you can mix and match and design your own pattern that you'd like to use. And then they also hang very nicely and sparkle a lot in the sun. So if you wanted to see the finished one, it's hard to see with being so close with the camera, but you can see here are the bottom 3 points, and then I have 5 lengths coming down, one off of each of those 3 points, and then one in the middle. And I think I had 6 bead elements for each length, and then I decided for the bottom that I would just use 3 of the large acrylic plastic beads, which you can find where I did at Hobby Lobby, right next to the other beads I showed you earlier, along with these. These are smaller ones, also with a hole on top, so they're easy to hang. Or you can look online, Amazon and a variety of other bead wholesalers sell these type of beads. Or if you have an old chandelier, you can repurpose those. Hope you enjoyed making the crystal crochet mandala. Thanks for watching.